Okay, now here is the bamboo pole, or one of them, after I've cut it down. So I cut them at the base. There's an area that has a whole stretch of bamboo back there at the far edge of my yard, and it's relatively well contained, which is important because bamboo can be invasive and can get out. But fortunately, this has a double bamboo barrier around at the roots. So we're keeping an eye on that. But in the meantime, some of the bamboo stalks, will go dead, and by cutting them down at the base, just with using a reciprocating saw, like an electric sawzall, we just cut that out. And then, as you saw a moment ago, I use an axe, just to chop down the sides to get rid of the shoots or branches that are coming out on each side. But here what I'm going to show is, and I cut this one about 6 feet up, and here I left a few of these where they branch off, and just used my little hatchet to chop them, here and here and here. And the reason why I left these little twigs, or these little the base of these branches shooting out on this particular spot, is because now I can use this as a support system. So I'll show you what I mean. I have out here this spot where I'm growing gourds, and these gourds are growing. You really can barely see it here, but they're growing on this remesh, which is reinforcing mesh that's used for laying down concrete. This is like a 6-gauge mesh, and it is 10 feet across and 5 feet tall, and this is 6-gauge, and the hole is 6 inches square, so you can reach through. And this is starting to lean. It's been leaning because of the weight of the gourds, the vines that are growing on it. So what I'm going to do is use my bamboo stakes, which again I'm kind of recycling from right here on my own property where I have bamboo growing. I'm going to use these bamboo stakes like so. I'll show you here if you can see through all of these vines. So I'm going to use this to scoop those little branches that I was just showing you, scooping those underneath the wire mesh so that now it's hooked in. We'll come around here. So you can see how, I just came around to the other side, you can see how I hooked those little branches right underneath the wire mesh here, against the metal, so that now is going to support this. And I'm coming back around again, and then I'll just give this kind of a kick here, so that I kind of move that forward, so that now that fence is, that fence or mesh is well supported, which is important because we have a hurricane actually coming through here in a couple of days' time. And you can see I did the same with a couple of other bamboo poles here, the same type of thing. So again, just a really easy way to use bamboo if you are fortunate enough to have some around that's not taking over, but that is a resource for you. Also, sometimes you'll be able to spot bamboo if you're accustomed to what it looks like, and a lot of places, if you see bamboo that's out of control or that's in a public place, you may actually be able to go in and cut some of the dead ones down for yourself. In fact, the people who have bamboo growing, if it's out of control, they may actually be happy to have you come and cut and take some of it away for free, because it's maybe doing them a favor. And in the meantime, bamboo poles or stakes can be very, very helpful. Before I had the remesh, I used to use a lot of them here for staking up my tomato plants. These tomato plants, the fence here is about 7 feet tall actually, and the tomato plants, you can see some of them are growing a foot or two above that. So I would use the bamboo poles, coming straight up, a bunch of them, to stake up the tomatoes, and they were terrific for that as well. Okay, so that is it about using bamboo poles for your gardening. Happy gardening!